Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video and another unboxing and first impressions, although there's no box, so this is just the first impressions. The reason I'm doing this video right now is because this watch, by the time you're watching this video, has just launched 2 days ago, and I just received it, so it takes some time to do all the macro shots and everything. The full review will be coming, but I just wanted to give you an opportunity to use the pre-order phase of this watch that drops the price from $650 to $486, so it's like 25% savings. So I just wanted to mention that, and I'll leave the link to their webpage in the description. This is a Monbrey. This is the MB2, which is their second model, and I like this brand. Although I'd never featured their first model, I saw the renders online, and they have this, I don't know, vintage King Seiko aesthetics to me. And this one also, MB2, also called Kenkyu by one of the periods of Japanese history, is heavily inspired by Japanese design. Not only in the case that, like I said, really draws to me an inspiration from vintage King Seikos, especially these very sharp lines, the transitions between the polished and the brushed. As you can see, look at the sides, all brushed, but then you have these polished bevels, then the tops are brushed. You have these pointy lugs that on this excellent bracelet that comes with solid links, solid end links, and a machined clasp with and on the fly adjustment. Really doesn't accentuate the lugs as much as the leather strap that is also supplied in the package. So I believe on leather this would look even better. The watch itself is 37.5 by 45.4, so it has a very vintage looking dimensions. Also the crystal, although the watch is 12.2 or something like that millimeters thick, and I'll have all the specs in the corner of the screen. Without the crystal, it's actually under 10, it's 9.8. So this crystal, the boxed sapphire, again kind of reminiscent of the old King Seikos. I really do like it. I love the design of this watch, and not only because it reminds me of that, but they also have this bold and striking dial. Now, as you can see, this dial, it has actually 2 versions of the dial, and this is the reason why I can't wait to put this under macro. So this dial is called the Bishamon Kiko pattern, which is something that was used on the samurai armors as a decoration. And you actually, like G-Shock, I mean, I believe Casio launched a G-Shock limited edition that had this pattern on the strap like years ago. It was the MRG, the most expensive one. But on this one, they take a mother of pearl dial and then they CNC machine this pattern onto the mother of pearl, which, you know, is a very fragile material, so they probably destroy a bunch of them before they make one successful one. And this pattern comes in a lot of colorways, a couple of colorways. This one is green with gold colored markers and hands. And I believe green and gold is just the perfect color combo. Look at the way this thing plays with the light. I really can't wait to put it under macro. The markers and hands, a combination of brushed and polished surfaces, and they actually use something they call micro scaling on the flat surfaces of the markers. As you can see, the sides are polished and the tops are not just brushed, but they actually have very small microscopic, like horizontal lines, something that I used to see on some Seiko 5 models, and that also, as you can see, catches the light and plays with the light. Again, another thing that I can't wait to see under macro. Another very special thing about it is that it comes with a Miyota 9039, but not just any Miyota 9039. They take it and then they regulate it to -+8 seconds a day, and then they case the watches. So you get a regulated Miyota, you get this amazing mother of pearl dial that doesn't really look like a mother of pearl with this amazing pattern. You even get a cap for the seconds hand, something that even Grand Seiko refuses to give us on all of their models. Look, that's always a sign of a premium watch. So I really do like what this brand is doing, and like I said, I can't wait to do the full review. Now, when it comes to other specs, like I said, 37.5, 45.5, so we're just gonna put it on my wrist to see how it looks, but this dimension is probably gonna hit my sweet spot when it comes to an everyday comfortable watch. and we'll do a loom shot, and that's gonna be it for this unboxing and first impressions. That's actually just the first impressions, because like I said, I just wanted to launch this video so you can use the savings, and do check out their webpage. Like I said, this is one of the available dials in different colors. The other one uses something called jeweled steel. Again, the type of steel that used to be made, that samurai swords used to be made of, and it's kind of grainy and has this sparkly effect, and I'm pretty sure it looks very cool in person, but I kind of prefer this one just because of the green and gold colorway. It just creates such a striking look and a lot of how do you call it, a lot of contrast, making it very easy to read. I also love the fact that the hands are incredibly massive. Look, they're wide, they're long, and you have even a raised chaptering. But these are things that I really cannot show like this, so stay tuned for the full review. That's when we're gonna see all the wonderful details of this watch, and I can't wait to start recording it. I even like the bezel, that it's flat, it's like polished on the sides and on this bevel, and then it's brushed on top. So the watch does kind of dance in that fine line between utilitarian look and flashiness. I really do like it. So let me put it on my 6.5-inch wrist. They actually send it with the bracelet sized, which is pretty cool, and because you have the on-the-fly adjustment, it's very easy to find the perfect fit. So here it is on my 6.5-inch wrist. As you can see, it's pretty much the perfect size, just the way I like it. The bracelet is an H-link bracelet with a combination of polished and brushed surfaces, and it goes well with the watch. It kind of reminds me of those bracelets that you find on integrated bracelet watches, but here it's paired to a regular watch, and even though I like it, like I said, I believe this would look even better on a leather strap, because then you would get these pointy lugs to show up, and even though they're pointy and quite long, as you can see, it doesn't overhang my small wrist, so you should be okay if you have a 6.5 and larger wrist. Okay, so let's charge the watch, do the loom shot, and that's gonna be it. Let me just show you the case back. The case back has this brushed finish that also changes according to light, and then you have the etched, a little lightning bolt, and it also catches the light in a different color. Very cool, very minimalistic, but at the same time, like, it has a lot of complexity, especially the dial and everything. If there's one thing that I might change or that I don't like, is the Monbrey, the brand inscription at 12. It's kind of too big for my taste. If they made it slightly smaller, it would be perfect, but even like this, the watch is quite impressive. And when it comes to loom, I don't think this is going to be very good, because all these markers are applied, there's no loom on them. You have these loomed dots behind them, so just like on a Seko 5, and the hands have some loom in the middle. But let's charge it. Okay, with the watch charged, let's zoom in. Let the camera focus, and as you can see, even the camera is like having trouble identifying the pattern. It really plays with the camera, but in person this is just stunning. Okay, and let's turn off the light, and there you go, just like I thought. So the loom is on camera, it's not really that good. In person it's slightly better, but then again, this is not really that much, like it's like messing up with the camera. So on camera it sucks, in person it's slightly better, but this will not be winning any loom contests. But then again, it's not a diver, it's not like, it's more like a daily watch. Let's just say it's enough. It's on the level of a Seko 5, maybe slightly weaker. So anyways, that's it when it comes to this unboxing and first impressions. Do stay tuned for the full review, because I can't wait to put this under macro and see how it looks. Now, I don't know how long the pre-order phase is gonna last, so if you really do like the watch, maybe even by the time I publish the full review, it's still gonna be available. But if it's not available, you should use the pre-order phase, because 25% off is not a small amount of money. But for the price, I really do like what you get. Anyways, that's it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.